Hello folks, it's Nikki from Gracie's house here, coming live today for a Mother's Day special. So I'm in the UK, we've already had our Mother's Day back in March, but you folks over in America, I think yours is coming up, so we're going to work on some signs today. So speak to me as you come along, those of you on Instagram and on Facebook. I would love to hear from you if you've got any questions, or if you just want to tell me something, or you just want to say hello, that would be awesome. So as I said, I'm Nikki from Gracie's house. I'm UK based and I'm a brand ambassador for Redesign with Prima. And it's lovely to see you, speak to you, hear you. Okay, so I've got two sets of signs to work on. I've pre-done a little bit of work. I've just used my Cricut machine to cut some vinyl wording. So the top one's Mum, Amazing, Loving, Strong. And we're going to be adding some Earthly Delights. And I've already forgotten the name of the mould. I've got it to hand. I don't think I've put it away, so I'll get the name of that in a second. But I've pre-done my moulds to go on as well. And then the bottom one, we're going to be working with Watercolour Bloom. Watercolour Bloom? Yes, Watercolour Bloom. And this one's Mother, and this, I'm going to have to turn it around because I'm not going to be able to read it. Our mum, our best friend, our confidant, our cheerleader, the glue that sticks our family together. So again, this was just a Cricut file, cut vinyl, stuck it on. The signs have just been pre-painted. I've had these boards painted for ages, waiting for something to do on them. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to just stack those bits and bobs on there, so I can just push that out of the way slightly. And the glue. So I'm going to keep it relatively simple. Once I've done these, I will frame these out, so I will add some frames to them. But for right now, for these purposes, it's a board, it's painted, it's got some vinyl on. I've pre-cut some Earthly Delight sections. Well, I actually had scraps left over. I'm going to just do my best because my iPad's a little way. Hi Laurie. Hello. So we're going to start with this section and just pop it here. So I'm kind of doing on this one, I'm framing out left and right. I've got a little bit over so that I could just jiggle it around. I'm going to use my transfer tool because this is a nice flat surface. This is the tool that you will get into every transfer tube. When you buy a transfer, every single tube has one of these. If you're going to be doing lots of transfers, I do recommend you invest. This is probably one of the cheapest tools, to be fair. It's not like a paintbrush. These are relatively cost effective, and you know, they last for ages. Hi Patricia, thanks for watching. So, as I said, this is just a chalk painted board. I've had it painted and sat in my storage in my stash, should I say, for months. So yeah, there we are. So how's everybody doing? We've just had a long bank holiday weekend in the UK. Craft Studio 53, hey! So yeah, we've just had a nice long bank holiday weekend, a little extra May holiday. The weather was atrocious. You can't win everything. So I'm just rubbing over, and then I'm going to start lifting my top sheet. So when you start, you remove the backing sheet, and then the top sheet has the transfer stuck to it. And then as you rub, you will release it onto your board. I rub as I lift my top sheet as well, just to make sure that you don't, you know, that you've got contact made and your adhesive is sticking. You like my t-shirt? Thank you. How do you eliminate the halo from a transfer? That is a question we get asked a lot. So the halo, for those of you that don't know, is the term that is where the adhesive basically. The adhesive is printed, and then the pattern and the design is printed, and then the adhesive stretches out further. So if you're doing it on a light colour, you will find that the halo is much less visible. It's usually more visible when you do a dark base colour. If you burnish well, and I'll talk to you about burnishing in a moment. If you burnish well, so you need to do a really good rub before you take your top sheet off, and burnish well afterwards. That will go a long way to eliminating those halos. And then once you top coat, they'll almost disappear. And to be honest, that's kind of it. There's nothing too, too taxing to do there. Waiting to go and pick some tables. Nice, lovely. Some end tables. Sounds good. What we've got over there. Olivia, I think that says hi. Over on Facebook. Hi from Dubai. I said this last week, we seem to have, we have people watch from all over the world, but it does seem even more diverse and even more far-reaching on Instagram at the moment, guys, so that's lovely. So I always continue to rub as I'm going over and I'm lifting my top sheet. And I say this on every single live, but it doesn't matter if it takes you time. Don't worry about it taking you time. Be patient. Keep rubbing, because if you whip off your top sheet and you've missed a bit and it's not rubbed on, you run the risk of wasting a bit of transfer, basically, which we don't want. Waiting to have done that one. Okay, so I'm just every now and then I'm going to look really stupid at the camera and really idiotic, trying to read the comments. Yes, I will demonstrate burnishing. Indeed. So we've got that down. I'm just going to actually just the tiny little bit of overlap. I'm just going to rub down and wrap it around those corners, because as I said, I'm going to be framing this out with some wood. So 2 ways to burnish. You either use your finger, let me just move those off of there. So there's my piece here, you see? So you either use your finger and go all over those pieces that you can see where the adhesive is, or I also often use a microfiber cloth and I just rub around. And the other tip to do here is to make sure that you rub kind of from a solid piece of transfer out towards where those edges are, because if there's a tiny little piece that's lifted and not rubbed down yet, which does sometimes happen, if you're rubbing randomly all over, it could catch on whatever you're using and it could peel it back. So I recommend kind of starting in a solid section and then rubbing out towards the edges. And just be mindful that you're making sure that all those adhesive, that halo is the adhesive layer, you're really making sure that that has good contact and that there's no parts that are still lifted. So, as I said, on a lighter surface, I'm going to try and tilt it. It's so much less visible on a lighter background, so you won't get a lot of that. You will notice it more on a dark background, but they're doing that. And you'll see it disappear. I've done some darker backgrounds, and you can literally see it disappear as you burnish it. And then once you top coat, as I said, you'll find that those really do disappear even more. So I've got another section here. So I'm sticking with Earthly Delights on this whole sign. Am I missing any? I think I've covered every comment so far. Keep them coming if you've got anything. I'm going to place that about there, I think. Yes. So I did cut a little bit extra, just so that I could make sure I was placing them and they weren't going to overlap my my wording. Can you buy the transfer in Russia? Yes, you can. What I will do, I can't, on Instagram, guys, I can only answer comments like this, and then once I've posted it to IGTV, I can't actually view your previous comments, but what I can do is put you the link in the description where I go live, and for India as well, to find a retailer. So I can do that for you. Once I've finished here, I'll save it down, it will go to IGTV, and I'll make sure that the link for finding a retailer is in there for you. And if you do struggle, please just drop me a message, because if you haven't got any retailers in your country, we can usually try and help you somehow. So look for a retailer first, but if you're still struggling, then just drop me a message and I will try and help you out. Anyone on Facebook? Facebook's low again. I think everyone's loving Instagram at the moment and just watching me on Instagram instead of Facebook. We're trying this new time slot. So I used to be, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon now for me. So I've just come back from the school run. There we go. There's some people putting some links in the comments as well. So yeah, I have just come back from school run. Usually I go for 1 o'clock on my live slot, and we thought we'd change it up for this month and just see how it works for people, if you prefer watching it this time. So 1 o'clock was my old time, 4 o'clock now, which is now, should be 11 o'clock for you guys in the States. So I'm just continuing to work along the whole section here. This one's, I mean, they're all, obviously all the transfers are lovely. These ones are relatively simple. You'll find anything that's got text on can sometimes take you longer, just because there's so many extra edges. Thanks. Do they have these transfers as well? Heritage by Prima. These, if you've got a redesign with Prima retailer, they should generally carry all the designs, I think. And someone's asking, I'm just trying to read out the names as well. Sorry, there. Penny's Lane Vintage, is that right? What top coat do you use? So we recommend a water-based top coat or wax. The one thing that we definitely know doesn't play nice with the transfers is Dixie Belle's Gator Hide. But if you want something that's hard wearing like that, or you like Gator Hide and that's your go-to, we recommend using at least 2 coats of a satin kind of finished water-based product instead first, and then top off with Gator Hide. People don't experience problems with that, but if you use Gator Hide straight on, there's just something that doesn't agree, and the transfer can lift and peel and all sorts. So, but I use wax. I've used Paint Couture. I've used the Dixie Belle products. I'm currently using Paint Couture. I use Polyvine over here in the UK. Wax finish varnishes is something that's quite popular to use over here. Okay. So there we go, that's that piece done. So it's already looking quite cute and it's got a nice balance and a nice frame. Where am I from? I'm in the UK. I am in a little place called Bedford, which is about 40 minutes north of London on the train. But I'm actually from the south coast of the UK. Okay, so I'm just going to do that little bit of burnishing. As I said, being that it's on a lighter base, I don't have to go crazy because I can't see the halo a great deal. But it's just a good practice to do it. Okay, and then let me get the name of this because it's something branch, I think. My head's just... I'll show you the mould. Simple Greenery. There we go. So this is the mould that I'm using to add. I just fancied just a little bit of, well, it's gold greenery. I'm adding it in gold. I have just done these with a fast cast resin similar to the amazing resin that lots of people use for making the moulds, the quick cast. And I've finished these with the aged brass Art Alchemy wax. So I've just used a brush, covered it all over, and we've got some little sections of foliage. So that's what I'm using now, because this came from the Earthly Delights transfer, so I thought it was quite well matched. So I had kept a piece out just so that it kind of tied in, and I wasn't sure whether to add it or not, but I think I am going to add a little section. Where are my scissors? There they are. Just so that it's sort of hanging down and kind of emulates what the gold piece is going to do. Hi Vilma, how are you? So I'm just going to layer over a section of this here. So you see where I'm just adding, just so that it reflects the mould that we've decided to use. And it's very easy to layer the transfers. They don't have any problems layering at all. Wrap that bit round there. So I just thought this would be a really cute project for Mother's Day. Just something that's a little bit more permanent than a card. Very near work. You're in Spain. Our weather has been so random the last 2 days. We've had a storm. Here in the UK, 40 mile an hour winds as a storm for us. So overnight we had lots and lots and lots of rain, lots and lots and lots of wind. And today it's been kind of very on and off weather today, very strange. 1 minute it's warm and the sun's out, and then there's big grey clouds coming over. Okay, so I'm just going to get a little piece. So this actually came from this big section here, you see. And I just trimmed it off. So I made the whole piece and I've just trimmed this section. Oh, it's stuck, there we go. So I thought what would look nice is if I just popped it here, on kind of coming in the edge here. And as I said, it's kind of emulating that branch that's already there. And then I've got another bigger piece that I thought I'm going to just bring up from the bottom over this side. So it's going to, again, it's going to frame it out a little bit. So I'm just going to pop these on. Now I've just got Titebond wood glue. That's got a blockage in it. I should have checked this before I came on, shouldn't I? Same for us in Dallas. So you've had really random weather in Dallas as well. I mean, to be fair, what we normally get a tail end of something that's happened over across the pond. So, and it's usually much more calm by the time it gets to us. So I dread to think. There we go. That's better, I think. So I use wood glue. I've got is it E6000? I've used. I sometimes use super glue. No, that's still not got. That's still not got that hole open. Sorry guys, hang on. Because this is the only glue I've got down in my workshop. All the other ones are back at the house. There we go. There we go, that's better. So I'm just putting a bit on there. And I'm going to stick it in that gap. And I'm just going to get some tissue to clean up those edge bits. There we go. So I quite often will pre-prepare my moulds and you know, paint them or wax them before I'm applying it. And when you're doing a sign and you've kind of got all these different layers going on, it's a good idea to do it that way. But if you're putting them on a piece of furniture, you might want to stick them to your furniture first and then paint them afterwards, so that you're painting everything together. So it's really just about how you want them to be applied, whether you want them to be completely contrasting to your base or matching. So I think I'm going to pop it there, and I'm just going to have like a little bit of that leaf overlapping the A ever so slightly. Just a little bit. Probably put too much glue on there now, so I'm just going to take a bit of that off actually. Spread that around a bit. There we go, that'll be better. So I'm going here. And the great thing about it being a sign is I can just leave this now and I don't have to worry about them sliding off. Whoops, as she says, and she holds it up to show everybody and it slides off. There we go. So I'm going to have, this is my placement. You stay there. There we go. It's looking cute. I think it's cute. What have we got there? I'm so late. Are these dry clay, paper clay? No, I've made these with a fast cast resin. I do occasionally use the paper clay type or air dry clay. I'm just going to put this out of the way now. But my personal preference is I like the clean finish that you get with resin. So, you know, but you just, if some people like being able to do it much quicker. I mean, I find that the fast cast resin is quick. Some people prefer being able to just pop the paper clay in the freezer, get it done quickly that way. Okay, I'm going to move on to our second sign. So this is the second one that we're looking at. And I have got the watercolour bloom blossom, the watercolour transfer. So I've kind of done a vague idea of where I want things. I think that was going to go over here. I have done on this one, I've got a little butterfly, because I thought that would be cute. That, of course, I've done it gold. It's eternal. Hi from Texas. Yeah, I like adding the moulds to these signs. Just a little bit. Gives it a little bit of 3D quality, yeah. So we have some roses. This one I've done in old denim. So it's another one of these Art Alchemy metallic waxes. So this is old denim with dry brushing eternal over the top. So that's got a really pretty shimmer to it. And I thought it kind of sat back nicely with the blues that are in the watercolour transfer. So we've got some blue there. And then there's just some random foliage, pieces that I've had in my stash that I've not used yet. So let's get on with this one. Try not to get my gluey fingers on anything now. So I'm just going to be positioning it so I'm not going to lose any writing, because the bottom writing on this one is quite delicate. So I don't really want to cover anything up. It's nice to do some on a flat surface. I've had so many pieces of furniture that I've been putting transfers on recently, and they've had curves, and they've had, you know, drawer fronts that have got bits that you've got to trim round. It's really nice just to do something flat for a while, for a change. So, yeah, so I've got some people from Texas, I've had some people from India watching, and Russia. Any other, come on everybody, let's have a competition. Where else, far-flung places have I got watchers from? Like I said, it seems that Instagram's a bit more exotic at the moment for us. So this is some scraps as well. This is probably the third or fourth project out of this transfer, one of these transfers. So you really can, you know, get a lot for your money, project-wise. There we go, that's cute. Panama, wow. Azerbaijan, Maine in America, brilliant. Illinois, excellent. Is that Malta? I can see. Olivia, does that say Malta? I swear I say it every time. I need glasses. So this is really, I mean, I love all the floral ones, but I do love the watercolour effects on this one. So that's really pretty already. Loving that. I'm going to stick this section on. So I'm going to lose a bit of this off the end, just the way I planned how I needed to have it. Oops, there we go. Like that. Just so it would fit nicely around the writing. So So I cut my guide edge earlier. It's really pretty, isn't it, this one? And this one I've put on loads of different backgrounds. So I've put it on like a pale grey, I've put it on a very, very muted sage green, I've put it on a lemony yellow, I've put it on a glass jug. It's really, really, you can put this with so many colours, a bit like base colours. And the Earthly Delights is always quite a surprise to me, the one that we first did, because I always thought it was going to be a really red transfer, but actually there's quite a lot of pinks in it. So again, that one works with a lot of different base colours because it's a pinky sort of red in it as well. There we go. So a nice little bottom frame for this one, and I went with just kind of this bit here. I've got a couple of extra little ones to put up the top, but because we had this sort of frame at the top, I thought it lent itself well and balanced well to have them on the bottom. Can you buy the signs or did you make them? No, Sarah, I made these ones. So these are just blank boards that I've had painted, ready for something to go on, and the sign itself is just artwork put through my Cricut with stick-on vinyl. Malta, Illinois, okay, we're still there as well. So yeah, but you know, these are they're plywood boards. You could do them on canvas. You know, there's lots of options. Okay, so I'm just going to cut a little bit of that off of there, because I just wanted a little extra of the blue flowers to be coming up here, again to kind of emulate the vinyl that we've got going on there. So I'm just going to tuck that onto there. And you can cut them about. Don't be afraid to cut them about, make them fit how you need them to. There's all sorts of ways to make the pieces fit where you need them to. And you know, these are big transfers and these signs aren't too big. You really can make them fit however you need. And then I've got some more greenery, which I think I'm going to do like that. Oh, hang on, was I going to do it like that? I can't remember what my plan was now. I think I was going to do this here, like that. Those of you that were asking about the top coats, if you're not already in the Facebook, the Redesign with Prima Facebook group, there's a files section, and that gives you lots and lots and lots of recommended water-based top coats to use. So I'm just adding bits and bobs as I go along now. I'm going to pop another one of those. I'm not going to do it at that angle because that would be the same as that, so I'm going to pop it that way, I think. So I'm just literally using up all these little pieces that I've kept from previous projects. Hang on, I'm going to have to lean forward and do the reading because the iPad's further away. What am I using to rub? It looks bigger than others you've seen. So this is the normal transfer tool that comes in the tube, and this is the transfer tool that you can buy separately. So this is the wooden, like popsicle stick. This is just a plastic transfer tool, but if you're doing lots and lots of transfers, it's good. It's got a bigger, flatter surface, but it's also got these little nooks and shapes that help you get into, like if you've got an inset on drawers, drawer fronts and cabinet doors, it really helps you get into the nooks and crannies, let's say. And obviously that end's bigger. It just gives you a bit more of a variety tools to work with. Okay, there we go. So we're just building it up, like I said. And I think I'm going to just pop a couple. Yeah, let's do a couple of these. Let's put. I'm going to pop these green, these little bits of green here, and I think I'm going to lose that one. We'll just pop them there, overlapping those bits there. So have you guys got Mother's Day plans? Those of you that are in America and those of you that are in America and have Mother's Day coming up, have you got any plans? Will you be able to see your mum? What's your current lockdown situation? I think everyone's seems like they're coming out of it now, thank goodness. I might pop a little bit like that, I think. Let's just go for it. Let's load it up with the flowers. Why not? Mummies like flowers. So just a quick burnish over those that I've just done. It's actually quite a rough board, so my cloth is sticking to it. So there we go, we're getting there, we're getting there. And I might just pop another one of these sort of amber, burnt amber kind of coloured flowers. I might pop that there, I think. Just floating there. I was thinking that the butterfly would look cute resting up on this on the line at the top here. So I just need to turn it up my way so I make sure that the butterfly looks like it's perched on the line. Yeah, like that. I think is cute. And I'm going to pop the rose down here, sort of in the middle, between those two sections of transfer. And then, oh, I don't know. I think I might pop. Maybe I won't use that. I might have changed my mind on that. Let's get the butterfly and the rose on and then make a decision. Okay. I don't think I'm going to use so much glue this time. Let's just spread it around so it's not so gooey. Okay. I'll pop you there. And our rose. So I absolutely love. Can you see the gold that's just dry brushed over the blue? I actually did a touch of Heather Hills as well, but really it's the blue and it's so Old Denim and Eternal are the colours that you can really see on it. Whoops! Oh, disastrous. Let's just dab that blue up. Butterfingers. It's been a day like that today. And I think I'm just going to tilt it up so that the rose is facing upwards. Nice. And let's have a little look. Let's get rid of some of this glue off my fingers. I might just pop that. Again, I'm going to stick it on the edge and then trim off that leaf, I think. I've got one that broke off as well. I'm going to stick on. So yeah, I think I'm going to pop that there. Do that on the leaf in a second. Can you hear the birds tweeting now? Do you know when I started all you could hear was the rain? And now the birds are out tweeting again. Which is nice. Concentrating. How was I going to put that? I was going to put that like that. Yeah. A little bit in there. I'm going to have to lean in again. I've got a comment on Facebook and I cannot see it for the life of me. My eyes, so I'm sorry about this. Spending the day with, oh, Valerie, spending the day with your mum, colouring her hair, doing her nails. Oh, lovely. That's really nice. My mum's coming to visit next week and I've not seen her since November. We just felt like until we were all, you know, vaccinated, that it was probably the best thing to do. Doris, what am I doing? Okay, so I'm adding on various gold bits of mould. I've decided I'm going to leave that one. I'm going to lift it up so you can see what I've been up to. So I've added the watercolour transfer, is all these sections here. We've got a butterfly mould that's been finished in the Eternal Decor wax. I've added a piece of like a rose leaf foliage mould here. That's also Decor wax in Eternal. And then this mould down here is one of the roses. I'll show you the mould in a second. And that's done in old denim art alchemy wax and dry brushed with the Eternal. So it all ties in the colours. That is pretty, isn't it? Let me just show you the mould the roses on. I don't think I've got the ones for these. I'm going to try and remember. That's that one. Oh, I can't remember which is that one. So the mould, the rose that I've used there is from Etruscan Rose. So it's this one here, Etruscan Rose. This one. You saw him on last week, so you can have Mother's Day just for me. Lovely. But that's it as well, isn't it? We're not only daughters, we're mostly mothers as well doing this now. Okay. Yeah, so we're kind of there. So let me just move those out of the way. So the Etruscan Rose, that's quite an old one now. That's been around a while, but it's still perfect for these kind of things, and the details are beautiful. So I'm going to pop that one there. From Pakistan, lovely. We really have got some wide-ranging people for me today, so it's great. So this one, let's just read it again. So this says Mother, our mum, our best friend, our confidant, our cheerleader, the glue that sticks our family together. So that's lovely. You saw him on last year in August. Oh my God, Doris, that is a long time ago. Crazy. And then Mum, amazing, loving, strong. And just to recap, that was with Earthly Delights transfer. So that's the pinky red florals. And then we used the Simple Greenery mould. And these will be finished in the aged brass art alchemy wax. So it's a slightly sort of more coppery toned metallic than Eternal. Eternal's like the true kind of vintage gold. It's gold. It's like the perfect gold, Eternal. Everyone loves Eternal. But I do love a kind of slightly coppery toned, but not full on copper. The aged brass gives you, it's lovely. And it sits quite nicely back with the reds and like the centres of the flowers and the stems and things. So I'm loving those. Okay, guys, I think we're there. I've not really got anything else more to show you. I hope you've enjoyed today. I haven't even got the tubes because both of these transfers originally came to me. They were samples, so I didn't even have tubes to show you. But yeah, so we've got watercolour, blue, blossom, what is the watercolour one? And Earthly Delights. Thank you, I've got some, unfortunately, it's quite a long distance between where you live. Yeah, my mum lives quite a way away from me, and it just gets in the way, doesn't it? It just does. So how's everyone feeling about this as the new time to watch? How is this better? Is it worse? Should we go back to early doors? Let me know. And I hope those of you that are in America have a lovely Mother's Day weekend, whether you're being mummy treated or whether you're treating your mummy. Have a lovely time. And yeah, I really appreciate you coming and joining time. I've got some questions. Which moulds can you recommend? Oh my goodness, all of them. It really depends what you're looking at, what you want to put it with. If you want to combine it, you're waiting for another life. Worth watching it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it depends what you want to combine it with. There's some beautiful cherry blossom ones with the birds that go with the Blossom Flight, which is a very, very popular transfer. Yeah, there's probably like 3 different cherry blossom and bird ones that you can combine with. Yeah, one of the floral ones. This is quite a nice floral one. This is fragrant roses. It's quite small. If you're doing smaller projects, this is good. You can build up your own kind of bunch of roses, basically. So that one's quite a cute one. What else did I have? One of my first ones. What did I pick? I think I also had, there's one called Monstera. So very different. It's all the tropical leaf kind of shapes. So that's quite interesting. But yeah, if you want to go down the rosy, kind of more shabby chic floral route, any of the rose ones. So the one I've just shown you, the fragrant roses and the Etruscan Rose, would be a good start, I think. Okay, guys. Thanks ever so much for joining me. Valerie, you're working from home, so you can watch any time of the day. Great. Thanks for joining me. I will catch you again soon. If you haven't already, pop over to Gracie's House page and drop some love and follow and all those lovely things. And I hope to see